Hello everyone and welcome to my CS24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Curse of Oak Island honors Dan Blankenship in opening scenes of Season 7. The Curse of Oak Island fans don't have to wait until November 5th to see footage from the Season 7 premiere, as a special sneak peek showing the first 9.5 minutes has just been released. The debut episode is over 2 weeks away, but an extended look at the beginning of the first episode of the new season gives a big glimpse as to what's to come, and it looks like it could well be the most exciting season to date. One thing's for sure, the swamp is the place to be, as the team discovered at the end of last year, during the summer months, when the team had the chance to dig the otherwise frozen Nova Scotia ground. Much of their efforts were focused there this year. In the opening scenes, Marty is adamant when he asserts, "The swamp has answers, and I want them." Seemingly off the bat, metal-detecting expert Gary Drayton appears to make Marty's wish a reality when he makes a find he excitedly declares to be a Bobby Dazzler. As Rick says, if the team find a ship in the swamp, it could change history as we know it. While the footage obviously doesn't give all this season's details away, it confirms that a 14th century find is located among the team's other discoveries. The team also go over seismic data procured earlier this year from the swamp. Could a ship-shaped anomaly there blow the island's more than 220-year-old mystery wide open? Experts interpreting the test results inform the team that the inscrutable object is around 200 feet long by 25 feet wide. According to Gary, this is a good indication that it could be a Spanish galleon that has been sunk in the swamp. For now, the team are in the process of getting permits to drill and excavate the bog. But before that, diver Tony Sampson, who has regularly helped the team, will be sent on a reconnaissance dive. What happens in the Money Pit this season? Possibly more sonic drilling, where last year Earth pulled up from Caisson S6 was found to contain old timbers, book binding, and pieces of paper. The ultimate hope is that the 7-foot-high vault first reported in 1897 will finally be located. At the same time that anticipation for a major discovery is running high, there is also a profound awareness of the loss of one of the team's most inspiring members, Dan Blankenship. The legendary treasure hunter is honored at the start of Season 7 in poignant scenes which bring Rick Lagina to tears. For the first time in over half a century, Dan will be physically absent from the island following his death in March 2019 at the age of 96. Nonetheless, the team continued to feel his impact and vow to give Dan the breakthrough he desperately desired during his 50-plus years on Oak Island. Around the war room table, a somber team vow to continue the hunt in his memory. Will they succeed in cementing Dan's legacy as well as their own? A series of all-new specials are currently airing on History each Tuesday leading up to the November 5th season premiere. Each segment features new content and a unique theme showcasing the tireless efforts of Rick and Marty Lagina and their team. The episodes are titled Top 25 Moments, Top 25 Theories, Top 25 Finds, and Top 25 Moments You Never Saw. Watch the opening minutes of The Curse of Oak Island Season 7 below, and check back to Monsters and Critics for regular updates once the new season gets underway. The first light of dawn spilled across the horizon, casting a golden shimmer over the calm waters of Mahone Bay. As the camera panned across the familiar silhouette of Oak Island, the air felt different, more reverent, quieter, as though the island itself was holding its breath. The opening scenes of The Curse of Oak Island this time didn't begin with the usual urgent radio calls or rumbling excavators. Instead, it began with a tribute. A soft, almost haunting melody drifted over images of the island's landmarks, the Money Pit, the causeway, and the wharf where countless loads of equipment had been offloaded over the decades. Then a photograph appeared, a smiling, weathered face beneath a ball cap, eyes crinkled with determination. The name appeared slowly in white text. Dan Blankenship. Rick and Marty Lagina's voices entered not as interview clips, but as soft narration over the still shots. Rick's tone was steady but heavy with emotion. Dan wasn't just a treasure hunter. He was the keeper of Oak Island's heart. The screen faded to black, and then to archival footage. Grainy 1970s video of a younger Dan standing in front of the money pit, pointing at diagrams tacked to a shed wall. His voice, strong and sure, filled the scene. It's not a question of if there's something here. It's a question of when we'll find it. The tribute wasn't just about showing Dan's accomplishments. It was about showing his grit. Old clips revealed him knee-deep in muddy pits, hammer in hand, scribbling in notebooks late at night under a single bulb. Another clip showed him in his kitchen, maps spread out across the table, sipping coffee as he traced the locations of anomalies with a calloused finger. Then came modern footage, Marty walking along the causeway alone, the wind tugging at his jacket. His voiceover came with a catch of emotion. Every step I take here, I think about Dan. He spent over 50 years chasing this mystery. And without him, we wouldn't be here. Period. The show's editors lingered on the human side of Dan, moments the audience had rarely seen. There was Dan sharing coffee with Rick on a cold morning, his booming laugh echoing over the dig site. There was a shot of him standing in his workshop, shelves crowded with core samples and old tools, a quiet satisfaction in his eyes. And then, perhaps most poignant, footage from his last years on the island, watching from a chair as the younger generation carried on the search, his smile saying more than words ever could. As the tribute continued, the camera returned to the island itself. It showed the swamp shimmering under the rising sun, the garden shaft framed by mist, and the stone causeway stretching like a bridge between worlds. The narration shifted from memory to promise. We dig because Dan believed. We search because he taught us that persistence is as valuable as gold. And we will finish what he started. Rick, standing beside Marty at Dan's old work site, placed his hand on the weathered wood of a storage shed. Inside, some of Dan's personal notes and maps were preserved exactly as he had left them. The camera lingered on a page where he'd scrawled in bold letters, "Never give up." In a quiet moment, Craig Tester, who had been one of Dan's closest friends, spoke softly to the camera. Dan had this way of making you feel like the mystery was already solved. You just had to go out there and claim it. He carried that confidence right to the end. And that's rare. The tribute was more than nostalgia. It was an unspoken passing of the torch. The new season's first dig wasn't in the swamp or the money pit, but at one of Dan's favorite exploratory points, Borehole 10X. The team gathered around the site, not to rush into drilling, but to reflect. Marty read a few lines from a letter Dan had once written to a fellow treasure hunter, in which he described Oak Island as a puzzle that becomes part of your soul.